remember when I worked with you on Tough Love, and Wayne would come in, and you got like, you've been together a long time now, but you're legitimately like, you're like your parents with him. Like, you guys are pretty loved up and into each other.
Yeah, we are. We are. And I think, again, I think that is my parents' blueprint. I think with the previous relationships I had had felt like it's not quite right. It's not quite right. And then I thought, but that's kind of a Hollywood version of something, and my parents, maybe that's not what everybody is. But then I met Wayne and I went, oh no, that's possible. I just feel really lucky. I really do. I just feel really lucky. We had our 15-year anniversary yesterday.
Oh.
And yeah, it's great. I really love him every day. You know, and I know you sort of go through patches and stuff, but we just don't really have that. We just...
Do you not go, because Sam and I have been together about 12 years now.
Yeah.
And a bit like you, sometimes I go, I feel really lucky to have Sam. He's a beautiful partner and an incredible dad and an incredible, really a solid person, you know? And sometimes I look at him when I'm feeling shitty and go, oh, I must be a good person because you've chosen me, you know? But we, over the time, have absolutely fallen in and out of love.
Yeah.
You know, and I think sometimes at different times than each other.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's been hard where you go, this is probably times when people separate, but we will fall back in love with each other. Have you not gone through that with Wayne?
We haven't, and...
Wow.
But that's not to say it's not hard. That's not to say that, you know, we have big fights sometimes. We have, you know, his parents were... he had domestic violence in his family. He had a really tough childhood in some ways. His mother is an awesome human being, and that's why he's awesome, and she's really, really strong, and I'm so grateful to her because she's chosen a strong person. He's chosen a strong wife, but he doesn't have a great... he hasn't had a great demonstration of how to argue well, and my parents didn't really argue in front of us. I don't know what they did, but they did it somewhere else.
Isn't it?
So I don't have a great demonstration of arguing. So we've had to learn how to do that. Not always well. We've gotten really much better at it as we've gone on. So it's really tough. But I think we met. I had a 2-year-old, and I just didn't want to do this half-heartedly, so I've really kind of chosen to be there, and he's chosen to be there, and that doesn't... I know that doesn't kind of...
No, but I know, I can see that you're not... That's legitimately what it is with you guys. Like, of course you would argue and have your ups and downs, but I don't know, I think that you're actually quite a rare couple in... I don't think that there are many. It's like you were legitimately soulmates, and you can see that from looking at you guys.
Oh, that's nice.
It's funny, isn't it? Like, my grandparents were absolutely like that.
Yeah,
you know, you can just see when people are like, oh my God, you two would never work with anyone else.
Yeah.
Where I would work with a million people if they're like really hot and rich and stuff. Like, I totally
we actually bring out the best in each other, though. We know each other so well, and he brings out the best in me, and I bring out the best in him, and we know how to support each other, and he is the best at working with me that I've ever met. Nobody else can look at the scripts that I write and go, but what about this and what about that? And you haven't thought about that. And I go, oh my God, you're so right. I've, you know, Screen Australia or anybody, all these different people will look at you, might get that's an interesting note, but nobody's like him.
Yeah, right.
And that might be just with me, but he's really, really good at, you know, bringing the best out in me.
Which is a nice thing to have.